Welcome back, y'all. We are back with the LFR Family Podcast. This is LFR Jesus. My name is Brandon. We got DJ here. What's going on, DJ?
Hey, what's up, guys?
We got a couple fun things to plug for you real quick. Right off the bat, check out the main LFR Family channel. A lot of exciting things going on over there. We're getting into a little bit more rock, a little bit more comedy. Van is doing a lot over there. Join the Patreon. You join the Patreon, you get into the Discord, the Patreon Discord, and from there you can watch this podcast live as well as get on to the podcast. DJ, Twitter. Let's go over Twitters.
Yeah, so we got our Twitter handles up there for Brandon. How does this camera work? Over there, that way. Brandon to his left, and mine's right above here. So you should definitely hit us up on the old Twitter. Big shout out to the folks that were ready to watch this live on Discord tonight, but my computer decided that was not going to happen this week. So appreciate you guys actually clicking on the video and tuning in.
Yeah, they get to be like they get to see it when everybody else gets to see it this time.
Right. For this week in particular,
it'll be a surprise. We have. Make sure also check out LFR Naya and LFR JoJo's channel, LFR Wild Boy as well. LFR Wild Boy does something really cool where he does vlog style stuff where it's him just talking to a camera on his own, which I think is really brave. So shout out to LFR Wild Boy. Go see what he's got going on now. We got another guest today with us. Before we introduce him, though, there's some things that have been on my mind lately. I just turned 30. DJ, we're both the same age, correct?
If you just turned 30, I've been 30.
Well, I turned 30 in May.
Okay, me too. Me too.
Yeah,
okay, cool,
yeah.
cool.
So, yeah, I'm a May baby. I turned 30 in May. And that whole midlife crisis thing starting to smell a lot like sweet potato pie coming up close to November. So I've been thinking about a lot, and there's a lot of things when you think about growing up and being happy and successful, and there's so much nuance that comes along with it. There's so many different experiences, and over the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot of soul searching of myself and checking out my own flaws, my own toxicities, or things that I'm good at, things that I may be great at, and something that I stumbled across just getting introduced to this LFR family was when I first started watching. Van would do live streams that we would all join in and hang out in the chat, and we would always contribute in different ways, whether it was requesting a song, whether it was buying some merch, whatever it was. Everybody was always contributing in some way. And then there was this guy Jeremiah Stevens that was always there, and he supported in such a way that it struck me that I had been missing that part. You are you successful? Are you happy? Are you this? And that level of generosity was something that I realized I was missing. Some people are able to be generous in financial ways. Some people are able to be generous in emotional ways. And that's one of those things that I saw that I wasn't projecting. So without any more of a long backstory, one of the most generous people I've met within the LFR family is our next guest here, Jeremiah Stevens. If you want to say hello, Jeremiah. Are we here, Jeremiah?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Cool.
Yep, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
We can hear
you. Yes. So Jeremiah, we want to talk a little bit about, well, first of all, I want to say congratulations on your health news. If you want to fill some people in on what that is, I don't want to steal your thunder, but absolutely congratulations. And you can go ahead and take the floor from that.
Basically, when I turned, like, my twin brother passed away, like, right after our 39th birthday. And then I just celebrated my 40th birthday, April 28th. And it was my first birthday without my twin. And I felt like at the time, like, I lost half of myself, to be honest with you. But like I said, I mean, like, and the cause of all this, I mean, a lot of people, like, say, you guys, like, eventually I'll fill you in with my whole, life story, or like whatever, whatever you guys want to learn. But long story short, man, my twin brother died, and then the same exact day that he passed away, I was in court fighting for, his daughter. because I mean it was over drugs. It was a drug overdose, but come to find out that he wasn't doing drugs, and I never knew my brother to do drugs, except smokes a little bit of pot or something like that. You know, that was basically about it. But basically he was ingested, but like he was murdered basically. And then I had to fight for my niece. So yeah, I mean it like I said, I mean it got a little wild. You know, I mean it was hard enough that I had to walk in, like literally I'm passing my brother's house, and like because I never go out to that side of the beach, you know, where I live, and I basically I thought he seen me or something, like passed by, and I was like, you know, his phone like called me, and I was like, what's up, bro? And the next thing you know, it's his ex or whatever, and his child's mother. And long story short, I mean, like I said, I mean, she said he was gone, and I thought she meant he was just like he left or something, like he gone, like he just took off. While I'm like, oh, screw it, let me go find my brother, like before he goes to jail or does something stupid, you know. And then as soon as I get closer and closer to his house, I see ambulances, I see everything, and I mean, it totally changed my life, you know. And
Right.
then when I turned 40, I went to the doctor just to get a physical, and I found out I had a heart, I had basically a tumor on my heart. So, and then it like caused my internal, like my organs, like my liver, my kidneys and stuff, like to like it just, the cancer spread it. But now, as of like 3 days ago, I'm cancer free.
Hell
They
yeah.
don't say they don't see any sign. They don't show any signs. So,
That's awesome.
Well, we want to congratulate you on that. That's awesome,
Yeah,
and
big props for
I
that.
I can't tell you how relieved I was. Like there, when you suggested a song to Van from Jelly Roll, and that when he did that reaction, we were watching it live in the Discord, and
And
like,
the thing is, that song meant a lot to me.
yeah, and I'm sure it does.
Because
I sing that song to myself every day now.
I fought, alcohol addiction, and I watched my brother do it. I've been down, I've been down. Like I said, I mean, it hadn't always been this great for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm blessed that I'm here.
I want to get into more detailed conversations about that stuff, but let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about where you're from, your hometown, where you live, stuff that you do. Let's get to know you a little bit before we get into the deeper.
I'm from a little small town in Mississippi called Greenville, Mississippi. It's basically like where Morgan Freeman, and that's like part of my company is, named, Freeman, Jerry Rice, the football player. I mean, it's just a small, town. Like I grew up, like I said, I mean, I was one of, and I'm not a racist person whatsoever. And Van knows this, like everybody knows this about me. But like I said, I mean, I grew up with it was 5 white people in the whole school, you know what I mean? So, but, I mean, I had but they're still my best friends to this day, you know what I mean? So like when people like white privilege, this and that, I'm like, fuck, like, I don't feel no white privilege. I don't feel that, you know what I mean? Because I never had that, you know what I mean? But I understand like how some people could feel that way. I mean, because I, like what's it like I knew that wore sweaters too, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's stupid.
Well, I think people, and DJ, tell me if you agree or disagree with this, I think people forget the nuance of what their immediate environment is compared to what a national or a cultural environment may be.
Exactly.
For me in my life, I didn't necessarily understand what white privilege was or meant until I was an adult and I heard other examples of what it was, and then I could, at that point, I could look back and say, okay, this is kind of where, yeah, that makes sense, that happened to me, or I got pulled over and didn't get a ticket when I was speeding and should have, something like that. Like there's,
and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like now I understand it. Like I mean, like back then I didn't understand it, but like now, I can, like if, say for instance, like my mother's a judge. I'm not gonna lie to you, but she doesn't live in Florida. She still lives in Mississippi to this day. But she can get my ass out of so much trouble. You know, if I was ever, to get in any trouble, she can get me out of it. You know, just that fast. You know, and then I start playing on. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess there is. I did have white privilege. You know, back then. You know, my mom was the first one to take my ass to jail if I messed up. Like we skipped school. We did. Trust me, man. Like we did everything to our benefits, man. Like we did everything wrong. But you know what? I mean, but my dad, like I said, I mean, my dad worked switch shifts, so he'd beat our ass. You know, he works, 3 to 11, 11 to 7, 7 to 3, and he'd just wake us up and just whoop our ass because he knew we was gonna mess up, and it was two of us, so it was double trouble for us. You know what I mean? So I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, but I even called my father like shit. I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, and told him, I said, "Thank you for every ass whooping you ever gave me," because he always told me, he's like, when you have your kid, and like my son, he's in his 20s now. He's like, you're gonna have your hands full, and you're gonna appreciate every ass whooping I ever gave you, and you're gonna want to give that. But I've never whooped my son's ass, like even though I want to. But that's just how I was raised. I was.
Isn't that crazy? That's a controversial thing now. Like to like there's a whole thing like you're not supposed to raise your children on spanking or like hitting your kids or anything like.
And
like
I think
I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's bullshit, to be honest with you.
If my daughters do something that deserve a spanking, I'm gonna spank them. Now, does that mean I'm balling up my fist and punching them in the mouth? Absolutely not.
Exactly. You're not in the whole saying that it hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
Is definitely
when they start crying,
truth.
You get a full flat palm smack and it connects, and they start crying. You don't even hit them hard. It just makes the noise because it hit right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a little tap, but it makes
you go back in your room. And are you bathroom or wherever you got to go, and you cry yourself? You know what I mean?
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart every time.
It breaks my heart. Like I hate. Like I mean, I have a daughter. I have a son. There are my two. Like I have two from a previous wife. We divorced, and then I'm married now, and she has a boy and a son as well. But they're a little bit younger. They're just now getting their license. So one's 16, one's 15. well, I mean, mine are in their 20s, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I started off pretty young, but like I said, I mean, they're like I said, my stepkids are like, but I mean, they're my kids, you know what I mean? They don't remember a time that I was never around, put it that way.
DJ, were you hit or spanked when you were a kid? Did you grow up with a physical?
Yeah, my pops did, but I was a smart kid, so like after a couple whoopings, I was like, I ain't doing bad shit. Yeah.
You sound like my brother. My brother was running. He was like, the hell with that shit.
Bro,
like,
well,
my brother can get his ass whooped.
I am also a twin, and
oh, are you really?
She used to get her ass whipped all the time.
Oh, so you have a
I have a twin sister.
Twin sister.
Yeah, and she used to.
So,
she was the one that was getting in trouble.
I have a boy and a girl twin.
Yeah.
As well. So.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Does it just like twins just happen more commonly with twins in the family already, or something? Or
no, normally they say they skip generations, but I have five generations in a row. So my grandfather was a twin. Actually, my great grandfather was a twin. My grandfather was a twin. My dad's a twin. I'm a twin, and I have twins.
Yeah,
so
see, my grandfather on my mom's side is a twin. So
is that the only other example of twins that's like immediate to you, DJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I'd have to think real hard. I don't think I have any twins in my family. At like a family that I can even think of, not even just immediate family.
And the weird thing is, like, I actually have my mother actually has a twin sister as well.
I've always wanted to have twin children. I would have loved to have had twin children. I have two little girls. But
no, you think that you think that you may think that right now, but no, trust me, you don't want double trouble.
See, DJ missed out on you had to have missed out on the fun stuff. Like you couldn't act as your twin and like go to each other's classes and stuff.
No, definitely not. Obviously, we didn't. People would stupid people would always ask me if we were identical, and I was like, well, thankfully for her sake, we are not. She would be one ugly woman.
For sure. We're fraternal
yeah.
twins.
And like I get a story.
So was I, but my dad and his twin brother were identical, but it's so weird that me and my twin brother, if I showed you pictures right now, you'd freak out. You'd be like, man, that's the same damn person. Like, I mean, but a lot of people think that means that you don't look alike. That means you just share like a different sack. Like you're born, in a different, you're not born in the same sack together. So
I saw something posted on Facebook about like, what if you're a twin and you're born first, but then the clocks get set back an hour. So then chronologically you're actually like, you know what I mean? Like, right.
Hey,
I was born second.
I was born at 11:59. I was born at 11:59 p.m. My brother was born at 12:01 a.m. So we have different birthdays.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, right now we're setting our clocks back in an hour, right?
Is that today?
In an hour in Sunday.
No,
it's
Sunday. I was gonna say, well,
Sunday. What? Yeah, Sunday. I was like, I don't think it's today.
So like,
I don't think it's today.
Say DJ and I were twins about to be born. If DJ was born at 12:30, whatever, right? And then the clocks get set back, and then I'm born at 12. Then he was born first, but chronologically I'm older, and that's like the ultimate power move.
Exactly. Well, see, and I always looked at my brother like he was kind of a younger brother to me. To be honest with you, I'm not going to BS you. He always worked for me. He never had that drive. He was a simple man, like Leonard Skinner. This song "Simple Man," like that was my brother. My brother was a guitar genius, though. I build guitars.
I think I like the Shinedown cover of that better. But
I do too. I totally agree. I agree with that. But my brother was, I'm just saying, like, he was just a simple man. He didn't need much in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Just as long as he got fed and he got what he wanted, at the end of the day, he was happy. He didn't need 4-wheelers. He didn't need nice vehicles. He didn't need houses. He didn't need anything. You know what I mean? And I never looked at it like that, because I had a kids at like an early age, he didn't have his till,
well, that's the next thing that I wanted to get into with you is like, we've kind of introduced you now. You had a tumor and now you're cancer free, and we know that you're incredibly generous. We know that you've seen success. I want to know if we can talk a little bit about where you started, like what was it when you started off your adventures in business, what it was like when you started? Because for me, I know a lot of times when I get an idea about something, the hardest part is actually going and doing it, actually getting it started and finding your way on how to make it work and get along those lines.
My uncle basically, he came, I don't know. I guess because my father works, switch shifts. Like I told you, he worked 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7, whatever. But he, he wasn't around a lot, when I was growing up. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't that he didn't love me, but, but the thing, this is a different father, than my actual father, So a lot of me and Van has a lot, in common, everybody says welfare boy, this and that, unless Van, and I know you guys do. Y'all know his story, how he was left behind, and his siblings was. And thing is, me and my brother got left behind. My sister got taken away somewhere else. And that was just that was the cards I was dealt growing up. There's no other way of putting it. I haven't told a whole lot of people about my story. But man, to be honest with you, man, as far as like I had an uncle like an actual uncle of mine that fucking believed in me. And like I said, and I named my company off of like, it's called Price Morgan Vacation Rentals. You know what I mean? It's because my uncle Price and Morgan Freeman, you know, believed in me. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize that, like, and the sad thing, like now I have my mother and father back. Like, I mean, it's been a long journey, you know. I mean, it's been a lot of trust issues, to be honest with you, to take them back, you know what I mean? But you know, I mean,
so you were able to build relationships. You were able to build relationships with people that invested in you in a way that helped you get your start.
Exactly. And
now,
and
how do you feel about the current situation where there's the controversy of, do we go to college, do we not go to college? I'm somebody who believes that experience and relationships will always be more beneficial than a piece of paper, and I'm not trying to advocate against going to college.
You know what? I mean, I have a college degree, but to be honest with you, do I use it? No, I don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I guess I did it in business, but then, you know, I mean, but I have 2 degrees as well. So, you know, like I did biology, like the hell was I thinking, like biology? But then again, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like, that's the way I was thinking at the time. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to go to school.
The only degrees I have is kissing ass and keeping receipts.
Hey, and you know what? And I'll tell you what, hey, that'll pay off, to be honest with you. That'll pay off more than any call. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not stepping on anybody. If someone wants to, like, but say I know so many like friends, and I'm sure you have some as well, that
I have a couple
are
friends
living with their moms. They live with their moms. They still don't have shit going for them. You know what I mean? They basically kiss ass for a list, like. But they got fucking, you know, master's degrees or bachelor's degrees, like whatever the hell they have, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just stupid. Like, to me, like I don't necessarily think. I think it takes a good mindset, and I think it takes a good work ethic, and that's why I wake up every single day and I push forward, no matter how bad I feel. Like, I was going through chemo, I was going through radiation, I was going through all these things, but I woke my ass up every single day, knowing that I had to go do these things before I went to work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, we're about to lose our Zoom call, guys.
That's what got me by.
Let's take a short break, because we're gonna lose our current Zoom call, and we'll start this up again in 2 seconds here.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's DJ. Here from the LFR Podcast. I'm here with Brandon, LFR Jesus. We just wanted to take a quick break from the podcast to tell you about something that's really important to us. You know, just so y'all know, this isn't an ad. You know, this isn't a paid sponsorship or anything like that. We just wanted to let you guys know about some cool stuff that's come up. Today we really wanted to come to you and talk to you about LFR Naya. So,
whose favorite channel is that?
It's my favorite channel. I don't know about you, Brandon, but it's definitely my favorite channel. LFR Naya. She's rolling up on 2,000 subscribers right now. So if you're not subscribed to LFR Naya, I'm talking, you're crazy. I mean, hold on, one more sec. LFR Naya, you should subscribe. So we're going to put that link in the description of this podcast, because you're probably watching our podcast right now. We wanted to stop everything, stop the talk, stop the discussion to talk about LFR Naya. I mean, if you're a fan of Queen, if you're a fan of Rush, if you're a fan of breathing, if you're a fan of...
kittens,
sunlight,
sandcastles,
summer,
blowing bubbles,
anything at all, then you need to subscribe to LFR Naya right now.
Absolutely, go check her out. She also does MGK stuff. I don't have an MGK back tattoo, but she does do MGK stuff. She does it well. Naya. She checked out the new album, and that's all I got for it, because I don't want to be too much of a fangirl. It's his favorite channel.
It's my favorite channel.
I can't say it's also mine, because then I'm just faking what he said. Like, I'm just trying to copy him. So I'll just, I don't want to be a fangirl. It's a phenomenal channel. Phenomenal channel.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning into the podcast. We appreciate you, sitting through this ad break for LFR Naya, who you should subscribe to right now. And let's go ahead and we'll get back to the podcast.
Fuck it. I'm fanboying. Fuck it.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Just a short break there, because we have a little Zoom difficulties. I'm sure y'all have seen the little Zoom thing pop up on the screen. So, if Zoom wants to sponsor this podcast, we could sure use a
Yeah, just upgrade us. Upgrade us for
Zoom.
free.
Just
Zoom.
upgrade us. Like,
Show us some love.
Yeah, this is an enterprise Zoom. So
Yep.
we're chatting with our guy Jeremiah Stevens. We got my man Jesus here, so we're just having a good time chatting. We're learning a little bit about Jeremiah, his upbringing. So wherever y'all want to pick up.
Yeah, we were talking about Jeremiah being able to make some relationships that had people investing in him, which is kind of where this whole relationship with the LFR family goes. So we want to talk a little bit about where you started. You said that you had somebody that cared about you, that believed in you.
Yeah, I basically had, I had my uncle, like I said, that basically like pretty much raised me. He believed in me. Like I said, he owned a chain of grocery stores. I'm not sure if like in Ohio or like where you guys are from, like if y'all have heard of Piggly Wigglies or Stop and Shops or Wiggles or anything like that. But my family actually owns them. My parents actually like started them off, but he was the one with the knowledge, but he believed. But like I said, I mean, I started up from ground up. I started off, bagging groceries, stocking shelves, I mean, nothing was given to me, you know what I mean? Like, he raised me that way, and he was kind of a father figure to me. And then, I walked in, I was actually working for a company called Paint and Glass.
Yep, we're losing your audio.
There we
go.
All right, my wife was calling me. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
But PPG is basically a company that owns like a glass company and a like a paint company or whatever. So like long story short, like I walked into this warehouse one day like at an airport hangar in Clarksdale, Mississippi, out of all places, and this black guy standing here, and this big white guy's got his legs crossed on a table, and I'm sitting there like God damn, I know this guy's like voice. Who the hell is this guy? I know.
Oh. I think Jeremiah might have had to take that call.
I didn't take it. No. She just keeps calling me. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Like I just shut my vehicle off that way. She wouldn't be able to call me no more.
Okay.
Our
apologies to her.
No, like I don't give a shit about it. I'm the one that makes it. I'm the breadwinner around my
family. He's eating takeout for dinner tonight, DJ.
Yeah. Hey, I hope you got a real nice couch.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to go. I'm definitely gonna have to go buy her something now.
Yeah.
So you said you recognized the guy's voice. You said you walked in and you recognized the guy's voice.
I walked in and I was like, man, damn, I know this guy's voice, and I could not think for the life of me. I'm like, how do I know this guy's voice? And it ended up being Morgan Freeman.
Oh wow.
And like he turns around and I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, that's Morgan Freeman. And I shit you not, like I was working for a little small like a PPG company, like just bringing some paint for his airplane, his private airplane. And I dropped the shit because I was so like nervous. And I just got dumbfounded. I was just like, oh shit. And I just dropped it. And he just laughed. Like he didn't give a shit. Like he just laughed. He's like, oh,
I don't think I would be able to. I don't think I would be able to meet Morgan Freeman without soliciting like a hug. Like I would want him to be my grandfather and hug me like I was his grandson. If I was to ever meet Morgan Freeman,
dude,
that's
look,
the experience I need from that. So if Morgan, if you
let's
ever see
put it,
this
hey,
and you meet me, I just want to hug. Like I just want to hug.
hey, I could have him like reach out and like talk to you, like honestly.
If you can organize a hug, listen.
My father is like, I'm the one that introduced him because my father like had no, like, he thought I was full of shit. He's like, oh well, like man, like well, I mean, he didn't think I was full of shit. He was just like Morgan Freeman's like he ends up like talking to me and asking if I like blues music or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking love blues. I'm from the Mississippi Delta, love blues music. And then he said, well, I got this club in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Which is, like right around the street from Memphis, basically. It's like maybe 45 minutes away from Memphis. And that's basically where I grew up. So, and he's like, man, does anybody else in your family like blues? And I'm like, man, my brother's badass, like a guitar. My dad loves, like, my dad's got a whole room just dedicated to blues music, like just blues artists. And he's like, well, man, dude, I'll put you on my guest list. And I honestly didn't think it was gonna happen, but I told my dad, I was like, Dad, let's just go. I was like, I mean, what could happen? He's like, and I said, well, okay, like, we'll definitely go. Like, and then my dad was like, nah, man, like, there's no way in hell that you're ever gonna like be on the guest list. And sure enough, I got there and they asked my name. I said, Jeremiah Stevens. And he's like, yep, you're about. And as soon as I walk in the door, Morgan Freeman's waving at me. And I'm like, holy shit. Like he didn't remember my name. He's like, come on, Jeremiah, come on. And it's like, is that Dad, Big Daddy? Isn't that what you call him, Big Daddy? And I was like, yeah, that's Big Daddy right there. And like, my dad, like, they're better friends than I am. And I'm like, mother, son of a bitch, I'm like the one that introduced you to him. And then now, like I said, my dad, like, I mean, he talks to him all the time. But crazy. I mean, like, Morgan Freeman, I'll tell you what, he's a class act, man. There's nobody nicer than that man. I mean, the movie, I mean, he's so.
Seems like the wife is calling again.
Attack of the truck.
Speaking on Morgan Freeman, he seems like somebody that would, when I opened up the podcast, I talked about generosity, and I don't think I've seen him play anything that, in any role or do anything that you didn't take him as a genuine or generous person. Which is the next thing that I wanted to talk about with Jeremiah. If you could talk a little bit about how being generous fits into your lifestyle. Being that, when bands.
What the hell's going on?
You got music playing?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can
hear you fine.
Hey, can you hear me, Brandon?
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
What the fuck just happened?
I think maybe he can't hear us now.
Yeah, he started driving, so now his Bluetooth is connecting to stuff and playing music in the background, and audio is being switched from app to app. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, my phone just, like, I don't know, it just hit, I guess it hit unmute or whatever, and, like, it just blocked. Sorry about that.
That's the beauty of modern technology. And we got to echo now.
I'm going to throw this damn phone away. That's what I'm about to do. Stick with your the 4XL. Don't do the 5.
We got some bad phone luck going on.
I used to sell cell phones. And it's normally user
Did you
error.
really?
It's normally user error.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're probably right. Like, but then again, my wife keeps calling me too, so that's probably why.
It's all good.
Son of a bitch. She just. All right. Yeah. I'm definitely getting out of my truck now. Just keeps calling me. I think that's what it's called. But
Do we still have the echo for me on my end?
No, I think you were coming through the truck speakers, honestly.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Okay, so
you should have a nice microphone, dude.
I don't got nothing to plug it into yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got to wait for the computer to come in for that.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah. I was speaking about that. I got that taken care of for you, so don't you worry about it.
Well, let's talk about the generosity side of that, because that's as the way that I introduced you into this episode was, given a little bit of insight on how you are always so generous within the LFR family. You've helped out Van in a lot of ways. You're always the top donator when there's a super chat situation going on, any sort of community thing that we've tried to come together for, and all of us pitch in, and the shoes that we got for Van and a bunch of other things. You've always been there. You've always been ready to contribute. You've always been more than happy to be generous. Being somebody like myself, where I just realized how much I was missing out in being generous. What are some of the ways that someone like myself could learn from you? And how does being generous fit into your lifestyle without giving too much or getting burnt on one side?
I tell you what, man, nothing in my life brings me more happiness than generating, or just helping someone else out, period. There's no better feeling than that. To me, that's my drug, I guess. I don't give a damn what it is. That's what I like. That's what I do. Van, I look at certain people and I see who deserves, certain things, and I see who's out there busting their ass. And even though if they're not, credited, and they're not getting the things that they should in life, basically, I feel like, someone should be someone help me out one day. You know what I'm saying? I've had people help me out. Okay, so that's the whole kind of the gist of the story I was trying to say, is I had people that believed in me, and so you believe in other people. You know what I mean? You invest in other people, and trust me, if you do that, it'll make you feel so much better about yourself. But not only that, you're going to be invested in back tenfold. Right. I don't give a damn what anyone says.
It looks like you got a. Oh, there you go. I was gonna say, it looks like there was something covering your camera lens.
No, it's just sorry. I'm just in this. I'm in the shopping center.
That's cool. That's cool.
This old shopping center thing, shit, or whatever. But
we talked a little bit earlier, and DJ brought up about being shy. There's also the side of you explained. Let me back up. You explained how good it feels to be generous. There's a reverse side of that, as somebody that's on the receiving end. You're doing a lot of very generous things for the LFR family. You've invested into this podcast specifically as well. And there's a reverse side of the generosity, where coming from somebody receiving that generosity, it gets kind of weird. And DJ, if you and we could have a little bit of a conversation about that, just what it feels like to be somebody like me and you, where we just had this thought experiment of, hey, let's do a podcast for the LFR family, see what we do in the Patreon. And now we have a situation where someone's being generous to us. Let's kind of talk about how that feels.
Well, it's not just in this situation. It's just in any situation where you're like it gets to a certain point in your life where you feel like if you're not earning it yourself, you don't really deserve it. So whenever somebody is generous to me in any way, I'm always like, oh, what did I do to deserve your generosity? But and then I always get told, well, don't worry about it, or whatever. But
you deserve. You work for it. That's why you deserve it.
Right. Well, when it comes to somebody who's used to working for it.
I understand that, but I work for what everything I've gotten. Don't get me wrong, no one gave me anything, but the thing is, someone gave me a lot of good damn advice, and if it wasn't for these people, I wouldn't have what I have today. And that's what you didn't understand. It's not about like giving or receiving. Like I mean, it's better to give than receive. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I'll just be straight up. Like it's better to give than receive. But the thing is like when you receive something and you can make something out of yourself, you can give to other people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can give to other people.
Right.
So, like, don't think that just because you didn't go out and earn it and you didn't pay for this, and then some just random person that I've never met in my life like helped me out and did this.
Right.
Don't ever feel that way, because
yeah, I'll tell you, I had that exact feeling.
It's gonna come back. Look, listen to me. If I could change one person, and whether it be you or whoever, then I did my job. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I give a damn about, to be honest with you.
That's a really cool thing. That's a really cool thing to hear, and I hope people pay attention to that, because when people feel like they have to work for everything that they have, they get caught up in the actual work part of it. You know, like I was married previously, and within that marriage, I was working. You know, for a few years, I was working between 60 and 80 hours a week. You know, I was working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. I missed a lot of stuff with my children when they were young.
And I don't have to, but I still do it. But I respect your grind.
It comes down to the point where it's like, if I'm working this hard, then I should also have the fruits to show for it, right? So
yeah.
if I'm working really hard and I'm providing for mine, why wouldn't, you know, why would I want to or feel comfortable receiving from somebody else? And then you get to the point, you know, I went through the divorce and I have half of half of what I used to have.
Shit, like I've got less than half of what I used to have. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like my ex-wife took me for 80% of what I had. But
my ex-wife is a great woman. She's a wonderful woman. We were not a good
and
marriage.
see, and me and my ex-wife, like now we've learned to be civil. Like I said, she's a great person. She's a great mother, put it that way. I ain't gonna say she's a great person, but she's a great mother. she's good to my kids. The hell of the person she is. She's a great mother, put it that way. But,
right.
Yeah.
But long story short, like I mean, don't worry about like what if someone like everybody needs help. Like and a lot of people have a trouble asking or like, and no one wants to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you right now, like. Just receiving help sometimes you don't realize how much like that can do for you as far as like your mindset. Like when you like if someone helps you out and you're able to benefit from that and you're able to move forward, then you're able to move someone else forward. And that's my philosophy. That's how I live my life.
Up until this experience with the LFR family, I don't know that I could have heard that and understood what you were actually saying. And at this point I can, you know, given the fact that I've seen all of these people being generous within this community, and me seeing the generosity and the things that were happening along with that, it inspired me to say, you know what, I have some things that I can contribute as well. I can request this song. I can have this conversation with Van. I can, hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe we can do a podcast or something like that, you know? So just seeing generosity helped me be inspired to do something better, not only just as me as a person, but to contribute in another way that I was able to. And I think that's something that I wouldn't have understood what you were saying until I saw that experience.
Well, I'll tell you what, Van says nothing but good things about you and DJ. I mean,
DJ's
like, Craig, DJ, I mean, like all you guys. I mean, he talks so highly of you guys, and I feel like, you know, I wish, and I even told Joe the other day, I was like, man, I wish I could like contribute more. Like, I wish I was smarter, like something like that. Like I knew like tech stuff. Like my son's a computer programmer. My ex-wife's a computer programmer. My wife's a computer programmer. I don't know shit about computers. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I know how to pay for one. That's about it. Like, you know what I mean?
With our skills combined, we could do something.
I build houses. I build guitars. These are the things that I do. You know what I mean? Like I build things with my hands. Like I wish I could like. Hell, there was no computers in school when I grew up.
Yo, you know, I want a Jeremiah Stevens custom guitar. I'm just putting it out there.
Right. Right.
Well,
The only thing I
I'll
can
tell
build
you
with my
what.
hands is a mess. I'll tell you what.
I can build some badass guitars.
That's pretty
I'm gonna
sweet.
tell you what.
That's an awesome skill.
Van's got one coming. Like he's been like pissed off because I ain't sent it to him yet. But to be honest with you, like, and he's probably gonna watch this shit now. But
He will.
Yeah, don't spoil nothing. Don't spoil nothing, Van. You're not welcome
I
for that
ain't
part of
gonna
the
tell his
conversation.
ass.
No
I ain't gonna
spoilers.
tell him what. Nah,
No
like
spoilers for Van.
Yep. I ain't no spoilers for.
That's the thing. Van will watch this. He won't tell nobody he watched it until everybody else starts talking about it. But he'll pick up on these things and get inside information about what we're trying to do for him, and then he figures it out before anything happens. We see you. We're on to you, Van.
Hold on, let me look at my camera intently.
Last night he's like because like he was asking about like how like you know some things like that he should put out or whatever, and I was like, let's do some hops and Halloween or some hops and holidays or just something like that. I was like, like I don't know, like the first thing I think of was he's like, well, Hobson does good on my channels or whatever, and he shouts out Craig. I was like, yeah, you did that shit on purpose, you asshole.
He said something about it too. He was doing that live. Yeah, he did. He was like, yeah, that was Jeremiah. I don't know why I said Craig, but I'm not cutting it out. I'll keep it that way.
I know. I was just messing with him. I was like, you asshole. I was like, you know who fucking told you about that.
Yeah, we'll expose you on this channel too, Van. I think that's a good place for us to kind of start to close the conversation out. One thing that I want to understand, or not necessarily me only, but give a more of a understanding or maybe an insight into is once you start receiving generosity from somebody, what are the things that it's important for you to keep in mind to remain humble yourself so that you can in turn do that same thing?
Well, I'll tell you like this, man. I guess the best advice I can give for anybody is always think about others before you think about yourselves. I mean, no matter, that's just my philosophy. Like I said, don't get me wrong. You got to take care of your family first. As long as your family, like I said, my family's, my kids, my wife, everybody, like, they don't have to work for the rest of their life if they don't want to. Like I made sure that was, that was my priority. You know what I mean? And I'm fortunate that I was able to do that at such an early age. But here's the thing: even if that didn't happen, the first thing is just remain true to yourself and take care of your family first. And then anything else that you can afford, instead of like going out and purchasing things and doing things like that, you go out and you help somebody else out. And that's just that's just the way I live my life. I do I told Van, I do 3 good deeds a day. 3 good deeds a day. Whether like I see somebody broke down on the side of the road, I make sure I do 3 good deeds a day. No matter what
was that movie that was based off of like if somebody does something good for you, you got to do it for 3 people. You got to do another good thing. Like, pay it forward. Yeah. You guys remember that movie?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
I've heard of it.
Oh my God. Anybody who has seen that movie that's watching this, that's the first movie when I don't remember when it came out or how old I was, but that's the first movie I cried. When that dude got stabbed.
I'll have to watch it now.
It's old enough to where I can spoil it for you because it's old as shit. But the guy gets stabbed and I was gutted. I was like, how is this? They're not. Like, I'm used to Disney movies where nobody dies, like, except for Nemo's mom, apparently.
Sure.
But when, I saw this...
About to say, you know about Mufasa, what? Bro? Mufasa died?
Right. yeah, you're right.
Hey, let me tell you a real quick funny story about Mufasa dying. We went to see the remake, the live action one they did, like, last year or something, at the Cinema Cafe by us, and literally... Right when that scene was coming, everybody knew it was coming because everybody had seen the original. Right when it was coming, the screen, the monitor in the theater black screened, and we just saw the audio for like 10 minutes, and they had to like restart it and something. But it was like, okay, you ruined the whole emotion of the scene. We knew it was coming.
Right. You spoiled the spoiler.
Yeah, it was like, what the hell is this about? But yeah, anyway, sorry.
No, I'm gonna have to definitely check that out, man. I've never heard of it, but I don't know, I think my I forget who it was. I want to say it was my grandmother that said, "Hey, like you do 3 good deeds a day, and you'll feel better about yourself," or something. Like I forget, like how I even like it. I don't know. Like I guess I've been doing it for shit since I was in my early 20s, and I'm 40 now. So
I agree,
yeah,
though. It is much. It's really fulfilling to give.
it's fulfilling
It's really
to
fulfilling.
give
Yeah.
to help someone out that deserves it. And the thing is there's a lot of people out there that's working and that's trying their asses off, and they don't get the recognition, they don't get the help that other people can get. And if you're able to do that, and like something like Vans even asked me, he's like, well, why do you do this, man? Why do you send me like all this money? Why do you do it? I'm like, because I can. That's why.
Right.
Like, because I like, but like the thing, I don't know what it drew me. Like, I watched a video. Like, I think he had like 1,200 subscribers, or like, I want to say it was like 1,200 or something like that. Like, maybe less. Like, I forget what it was, but something drew me to him. I was like, man, I like this guy. He's got a great personality. Like, he's gonna go far. And something told me, like, help this guy out. Like, I don't know why I did it and like what told me to do it, but I stepped in it and I subscribed and I've done what I've done, and the thing is there's no I don't need anything out of it. I don't need any validation. Like, that's why I told him. I was like, if I ask for a shout out or something, like I don't ask for shout outs. I'm like, hey, just do a reaction. Like, I give a shit about my name being called out. You know what I mean? Like, I know who I am as a person, but
Right.
the thing is, Van's a great person, man. I mean,
well, Van shows a lot of that same kind of generosity that we talked to from the way that he does it. He spends a lot of personable time with his followers and his supporters, and he does. Personal recommendations. He does a lot of different things that shows that level of generosity. And I think that's one of the things that hopefully more people will start to focus in on is, and like I said, this has been on my heart and on my mind for the last couple of weeks, anticipating this episode with you, is I think that generosity is the answer to a lot of the world's problems right now when it comes to the way we communicate. We live in a world right now where we have this new platform of the internet and social media and all of these new ways, but it's like it's a platform of more limited communication, even though we're more connected than we ever have been in the history of humans. Like, even though we're more connected than we ever have been, a lot of that communication is restricted by social abnormalities or normalities, political correctness. You could even go down to systematic structure where you have 160 characters on Twitter. You better get your ideas within those 160 characters, So even though we're more connected, even though we're more connected than we ever have been, we're limited in the ways that we communicate. And I think that generosity is one of those things that fall off the back of the truck when you cut out parts of that communication. When I can't get to personally know you based off of what it is that you're using to communicate, that's where the generosity, I think, falls off. So I think this is a good spot to wrap it up.
Yes, Zoom thinks so too. I agree. Zoom thinks so too. Just give us a 10-minute warning.
So going forward, Jeremiah, I hope that the fact that you've shown so much generosity, and I know it already has affected the people that are in the Patreon already, as well as anybody who's been around for a while.
For sure.
I hope that theme continues. We've got Mako. Shout out to Mako. He's been very active in the Discord.
He's a Florida guy. Yeah.
He's a Florida guy. We got Momo. We've got a lot of people that are trying to contribute in very, very real ways, and I hope that continues. And I want to thank you for showing such a consistent way of contributing and being generous to people who really do put in the work of making sure that we're there for each other as friends. If you got an issue, you can talk to us. If you need somebody to come hang out for 10 minutes in a little personal chat room and just say, hey, I'm having a bad day, come and do it. If you're cancer free and you just got the news and you want to celebrate, come celebrate with us. So I hope that this trend continues, and we can inspire people to use these platforms with limited communication and still figure out where generosity fits into it. So, Jeremiah, I appreciate you.
I appreciate Van for starting this channel, And if it wasn't for him, we would never even be speaking to each other.
Right.
Exactly.
Most likely,
Yep.
what I mean? So, I mean, I owe everything to Van for that. Van's been real supportive for me, and guys, like, I appreciate everything you guys do. Like I said, I mean, I wish, money isn't everything. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could do more for the channel that you guys do. Like, I mean, I'm just so invested in, so much time. And I even told my wife, I was like, man, I got to slow myself down. Like, I can't keep doing this. Man,
Yeah.
but I appreciate DJ. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Brandon. Like I said,
Hey, man,
Craig,
we appreciate you right back, bro.
Joe Reyes, man, like all you guys, man.
Yeah, shout out to Joe.
Joe Burr, like all you guys, man. Like I said, I mean, I appreciate everything you guys do for the channel. I really do. Like I said, it means a lot to me.
We got a lot of people that are doing a lot of things that shows the things that you're explaining. Like, we all have a certain amount of time. We all have a certain amount of investments. We all have a certain amount of availability. And I just want to keep reiterating that, because of people like you and Jaybird and Craig and the people that are sending physical, whether it's nominal, whether it's a gift, whether it's something in the mail. I think it was Michael Baldwin sent him an AC/DC shirt. There's so many things that we're doing that are showing examples of generosity. And whether you're the one that's doing it all the time or not, I want to thank you for showing such a consistent.
No, man, you guys do way more than I do, man. Like I said, I mean, I try to show up as much as I can and do what I can. And I feel like I'm still not doing enough, but that's just me personally.
Well, let's invite everybody else to fill in those gaps. So anybody who stuck around and watched this, some ways that you can be generous to us is go over and watch the subscribe, click the subscribe button, hit that thing on the main LFR channel. You can find myself. You can find myself on Twitter at it's LFR Jesus. DJ, your Twitter is?
My Twitter is at PhotobombChamp, and we will get to that eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna go through a whole story for DJ's Twitter handle.
I mean, yeah, I'm just in agreement with you guys. I mean, we definitely appreciate everything Jeremiah does for the channel, everything everybody's been doing for the channel, and like you mentioned, it's not just nominal. Anything you can do if you're skilled at something and you want to lend a skill, if you want to lend time, if you just want to be there to support, being there to support is also a big help. So just hit
the like button.
Hit all those like buttons.
Subscribe. Shit. Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. We appreciate you guys coming out. We appreciate you guys coming out. We'll see you again next week. We're going to be doing more than one of these a week going forward. Hopefully next week we can start 2 per week, and then move on to 3 per week. And looking forward, we've got a couple. We've got Jaybird. We've got Mako. We got LFR Wild Boy. We'll let you guys know the exact dates for that. Until then, we'll catch you later.
Peace.